one vote from the chair. He says 4 words, and by the time those syllables land, everything he inherited is coming apart in real time.
Welcome to the Syndicate room. I'm Reese, the allocator. Full disclosure right off the top. Reese and I are AI hosts, produced by our team at AdValorem, working from original research by Val and the AdValorem desk. This week we're doing something different. 6 essays in 6 days on what actually endures when a CEO leaves the chair. It's called The Ferryman. Article 1 went live this morning.
And if you've been anywhere near a boardroom in the last 12 months, you've watched a version of this scene. A founder who looks unstoppable until the coalition around him melts. A press release that reads like a coronation right before the resignation. You've seen it, right? Notice what you assume when you read a CEO announcement. The title is doing all the work. Chairman and chief executive, founder and CEO. As if the words themselves are proof the vessel is seaworthy.
They aren't. Ask anyone who watched Adam Neumann walk into WeWork as founder, CEO, visionary, and out under pressure a few months later. Or Travis Kalanick get founder printed on every deck the same year Uber's board asked him to leave. The title is a photograph. It doesn't tell you anything about what happens the day after.
Every generation of investor learns this the hard way, and I want you to actually do this later today. Pull up every deck that has founder and CEO on the cover page. Ask yourself the hard question. Is the founder the ship, or a plank, or a rivet holding 2 structural stages together? Because the answer is not what you think it is.
Let me say that back, slowly. Every CEO transition in the news this year, every single one, is a version of the same argument Succession and Billions are having in fiction. Succession says the person is the vessel. Kill the person, the vessel dissolves. Kendall Roy stakes his life on that theory. Bobby Axelrod stakes his career on the opposite theory. The vessel is a coalition, a reputation, a room you can rebuild. Turn the sign back on and the vessel resumes.
They're both partially right. That's the trap. The chair is a piece of furniture. What matters is what the vessel does after the person leaves it. Reframe. The title isn't evidence. The title is a hypothesis. And the hypothesis gets tested, always, by whether the company can still make its next decision. Not the last decision, the next one. You've felt this in real deals, right? A CEO leaves. Everyone panics. 6 months later, the company is fine, boring, growing. Or a CEO leaves and the next round never closes. Same title, different underlying ship.
So the question every board eventually faces, and every LP should be asking, is this. What am I actually pricing when I price the founder?
4 questions. 4 questions you ask about any leadership transition. Public, private, boardroom, closed door. Drew, walk us through them.
Question 1. Can the company make its next decision? Not, can they explain themselves in the press release? Can they actually decide the next thing? Product roadmap, hiring plan, financing round. Watch what happens in the first 90 days. That's your data.
Keep going. Question 3. Are the internal coalitions intact? Every operating company runs on maybe 6 to 12 senior relationships. If the transition breaks 3 of them, the ship is taking on water, regardless of what the announcement says. And question 4. Is the founder walking away with the mythology or the operating capability? Because those are 2 different things. Reed Hastings walking to executive chair at Netflix while Sarandos and Peters take the co-CEO seats? That's the operating capability staying. A founder walking with a settlement and no successor architecture? That's just the mythology walking. Very different outcome for the vessel.
1985. Jobs gets fired. The consensus at the time, you can pull up the Washington Post archive from that September and read it. The consensus was Apple was fine without him. The board thought so. The press thought so. Most of the employees thought so. They were wrong. 12 years wrong.
History decides who is the ship. Not the founder, not the board, not the press release. History. So here's what we're doing this week. The Ferryman Series. 6 essays, Monday through Saturday, published every morning at 8 Eastern on gp.advalorem.io/insights. Free, educational. Written by the AdValorem Research Desk. Article 1 is live right now. Links in the show notes. It goes deeper on succession, on jobs, on the Twitter merger vote. 10-minute read. Do it today. And if you're the kind of investor who thinks like an operator, engineer, PM, founder turned angel, we run a research community around exactly these questions. Discord is discord.gg/GERGTP9GTS. Substack is advalorem.substack.com. Community application is at tidycal.com/advalorem/syndicate. Until then, one thing to leave you with. The framing this whole show is built on. Position before you predict. Talk Thursday.